Let me tell you guys, it's been a while since I made something so dangerous that I was scared to show it to my parents. And I think that's a good sign. First of all, fear not, I am still working on the crossbow, but I had to order some parts for it, and in the meantime, I made the scariest things on earth. So allow me to introduce to you, modeled after the Hawaiian Leiomano, the centipede, and modeled after the Aztec Maquahuitl, Donald Trump. But Eli, won't the razor blades just pop out of those if you hit something with it? Don't worry guys, I will explain that in detail in the video, and I don't just say that meaning that I'm gonna say it right now and then forget to actually do it later. I already know I'm gonna say it, because I already said it when I recorded it. Now the smallest of seconds before we get to the build, I'm taking suggestions. What do you guys want to see me do for 300,000 subscribers? This is a big milestone. If you want to see me do some kind of challenge, please make it a challenge. I refuse to be that YouTuber. Friggin'
today I'm gonna blindfold myself and eat jelly beans, and I gotta guess what the flavor is.
Get creative. Something very challenging, but remotely possible. Something like, you know, 300 push-ups in 10 minutes. You gotta eat 30 raw eggs. Something like that. Something involving the number 3 and a challenge that is challenging, okay? But that's if you guys even want to see a challenge video. If you just want me to do some kind of like Q&A or something like that, go ahead and let me know in the comment section. Whatever. Let's build some... What is this? A cricket bat with razor blades in it? This is dangerous. I need help. I need an adult. So the Hawaiian one is going to be the sidearm at 26 inches, and the Aztec one is going to be the main weapon at 36 inches. I'm mostly just doing this because the method of attaching the blades to the Hawaiian one is going to be a whole lot more tedious than this one. And I'd like to have this video uploaded sometime this year, so I'm using some 3/4 inch by 3.5 inch hickory, and I'm going to start by drilling out some holes in the end right here. Then I took a Sharpie and I drew out the shape of the handle, and then I cut it out with a jigsaw. And just a little forewarning for you guys, when you're cutting this out, especially if you're using a really hard wood like hickory, you're going to want to cut, if you're using a jigsaw, right on the outside of the line, not directly on the line, because the wood is so tough that the jigsaw blade actually bends and twists to follow the grain on the inside of the wood, so you end up with this really weird wonky edge right here. So just cut directly on the outside and take a little extra time to shape it up. It'll be worth it. And now I'm going to put a slight taper all the way along the blade part. And I got a new toy. I'm going to use it to put a bevel on the edge of these, I guess, paddles you could call them right now. This is just a 45-degree angle bit right here, and I'm leaving a maybe 3/16 flat face right here. And then yeah, just 45 degrees to the top. And I'm doing that all the way around. Alright, now I'm going to take this thing and I'm going to round out these top edges right here while leaving the edges on the sides right here still pretty sharp. Now I'm going to be rounding out all the sharp edges on the handle with this sandpaper strip and a rat tail file. Now I'm going to use this little tiny saw blade bit on my Dremel router to put a notch all along the edge. Alright, we're gonna start with the Aztec version, the longer, more simple one. We first have to prepare each one of the razor blades for insertion. This means we have to wipe off all of the oil that they come packaged in, and then we have to take our Dremel tool and score the bottom edge of it so that the epoxy will have something to hold on to. Alright, now I'm going to mix up a whole bunch of epoxy on this piece of wood, and then one by one I'm going to take the razor blades, scoop a little bit up, and insert them. Alright, 10 razor blades on each side. I have to let these dry, flip it over, and do the other side. Alright, now we're going to try something experimental. This could either make this thing look amazing or really dumb. I think I'm hoping for the first one. What I'm going to do is take an angle grinder and cut this bit about right here. Then I'm going to hold it with these pliers, and I'm going to take a torch to it and heat this thing up so that hopefully I'll be able to drop it down right here and use a stick to roll it like this and hopefully get a pretty cool design. Worst case scenario, this thing rolls off to the side like this, just makes it look really stupid, but I don't really know. But I do know that I will not know if it looks good or bad if I don't try it at all, so I might as well. You know what, guys, I gotta be honest with you, I am completely breaking that resolution that I told you about a while ago where I said that I wasn't gonna work past 12 a.m. anymore. It's currently 4:15 a.m., but the problem is that I'm having so much fun making this thing that it's sort of like I don't even consider it work. Doesn't that suck? Doesn't it just suck that I love my job so much that I just work through the night like this? That's just the worst, isn't it? Thank you, God, for my job. And thank you, all of you guys out there who have helped me get to 300,000 subscribers and have helped me to be able to really just do whatever it is that I want to do and make a living at it. That is such a rare opportunity that so few people in the world are able to have, and so many people in my life have helped me, and I wanted to say thank you guys, and I wanted to say thank you to God, and yeah, that's my feely part for this episode. So I think this thing is just about hot enough. I'm gonna go for it. It doesn't look that cool, but it looks kind of cool, and it did exactly what it was supposed to do, so I consider that a success. I'm gonna try doing it from the other side now. Well, that one looked kind of stupid, because I'm not gonna do that anymore. But what I think I will do is that old wood burning thing that I used to do, like what I did for the Skyrim Tomahawk and the machete battle axe. But I gotta be really careful that I don't heat the razor blades up at all, because if I do, then it could melt the epoxy, and I'm not entirely sure if it'll return back to as strong a state as it is right now. Best to not take chances while it is already all put together, so just gotta be really careful. Now I do like that. Alright, so I've broken down and gotten some boiled linseed oil to coat this thing in instead of the usual polyurethane coat that I do. Everybody's been saying this stuff's the bomb, so I figured I gotta try it out. Now this stuff's got a 12-hour dry time, so I think that's a certain special wizard in space's way of telling me to get some sleep. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Hopefully this turns out pretty good. Alright, now I'm gonna start wrapping the handle. I've got this long leather strip from the fabric store. I'm trying a method I've never done before. I'm gonna try wrapping the handle without using any epoxy or glue. I'm just gonna use these little brass wire nails. Wrap it all the way to the top. Now that I'm at the top here, I'm gonna make a horizontal score where I'm going to cut it here. Now I'm gonna do a little pattern of these nails. Then I drilled out all the pilot holes, and now I'm gonna plant the nails. And now the final step, unless I decide to do something aesthetic later, is the lanyard. I'm just using this thinner piece of leather, get it to about right here, keep the two halves flat up against each other, and then you just tie this super basic knot. And there you go, just a couple wraps around, and you're good to go. Alright, now for the Hawaiian weapon, making the shark teeth could not be more simple, except it could be, and I wish it was, but it's not. But all you really gotta do is cut the razor blade in half, and then you cut this little notch right here, not quite in the middle, a little closer to this corner than this corner, but just barely, and then you cut one more notch right next to the corner right here, and that's really it. It's not difficult, it's just kind of time consuming. And I've got quite a few to do. I assume you guys don't need to watch me do every single one of these. Just know that I'm just using a regular Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel. Alright, now that I got all the teeth prepared, I'm going to drill a hole every 3/4 inches, about a 1/4 inch from this edge right here. Okay, now I'm doing this tying method for the Hawaiian weapon to attach the blades. Obviously, this is going to take a million years compared to just gluing them in like the other weapon, but the reason I'm doing this is because I want to test both of these weapons head to head to see which one is more durable, which one does more damage, and both of these weapons share this common special feature, but more so the Hawaiian weapon. These blades here, or in the actual case, the shark teeth, are actually supposed to rip out of the weapon when you hit somebody with it. So even if you don't kill them on the first hit, they've got shark teeth or razor blades lodged inside their wound. Every single time they move, it's agonizingly painful. It would be extremely difficult to continue fighting. You would obviously get a huge edge in the fight. It'd be super demoralizing for your opponent. So for the sake of testing, I'm doing it this way. It's already 12 o'clock again. I am sensing another all-nighter. Hopefully I can just get in the swing of this and just blow through it really quick. Alright, so I'm using this 20-pound fishing line, get maybe 3 feet or so. To start a tooth, you thread it through the hole, place the tooth, go over it one time, and just tie a simple square knot. It doesn't really matter all that much if it's not super tight. It'll get tight as you're winding it. So first time around, we'll go through the top again, come back out of the hole. Make sure throughout this whole entire process, you're keeping all the knots really, really tight. And now we're gonna go from this hole, around this notch, back into the hole, out again, and through this notch again. Every one time that we do this notch, we're gonna do this notch 2 times, because that is the string that is gonna be dealing with the most force of the blades getting pulled back. But if you really want to take the time to do it, I guess you could do both of the sides equally and go up to 10. But we're gonna do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're gonna do that 5 times for each tooth. All right, now here's where most of the tension comes from. After we've done 5 through here and 10 through here, we're gonna come back out of here and then pass the line underneath both of these things, and we're gonna pull it all the way down to the bottom right there. Pass it back through again and do the same thing, pull it tight, and let the string slide down this little V so that these loops stack on top of each other. So as you'll see right here, when you pull it, they tighten together and it gives a lot more tension to the overall tooth. So I'll do about 5 loops on each side, remembering to let them stack on top of each other. Pull it tight, tighten some more, pass the string back through, do 5 on this side, and then put the tiniest little dab of super glue onto the stack of loops. So now this thing is rock solid stuck in there, not the slightest bit of wiggle. And the other cool thing about this method, as opposed to just gluing them in, is once the teeth inevitably do rip out of there, as they will with the other weapon also, but maybe not quite as readily, it's super easy to put new teeth back in there, as opposed to the other one where you'll have to cut the glue out from the notch all over again. It's all just a whole big game of trade-offs. So yeah, just rinse, lather, and repeat 46 times. Yeah, it's already 12 o'clock. I am definitely sensing another all-nighter. I'll get back to you guys when this is finished. And actually, I figured out a cool trick so you can do this thing twice as fast. So this whole thing only took about 4.5 hours to do instead of, what, 8 hours? Pretty good, huh? So look, you take the regular length of fishing line, except you fold it in half. So you actually get 2 advantages. Not only do you only have to wrap it around half as many times, because, you know, it's double thickness now, you also get to skip that annoying knot tying in the beginning, because all you do is pass the loop that you made by folding it in half through the hole, and then you pass the other end through the loop. So just like that, you have basically what you would have had the other way, except with hardly any of the effort, and also you get to keep a lot more tension on it than you would with that regular knot. So now you just continue as normal, 1 around here, 2 around here, 1 around here, 2 around here, and then you can tie it off instead of having to do it 2 more times. And I do feel compelled to warn you guys, please, if you plan on doing this, be really, really, really careful. I hate putting age restrictions on stuff, because I started doing this stuff when I was 12, but if you're thinking thinking about doing this kind of stuff and you are really young, maybe consider getting some adult supervision. I hate that phrase so much, but I just don't want to see you guys get hurt, okay? All right, 3 loops around here, pass it through, 3 loops on this side, little glue. And after a familiar handle wrap, there you go. A couple things very close to the top of the list of stuff that I never want to be hit by. A couple spaces above trains and the realization that I'm 55 and still not married. Now, I'm not just saying this, guys. I really mean it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. And because I'm a filthy beggar, I'm going to remind you that sharing my videos helps me more than you could ever imagine. And if you really feel like going the extra mile, patreon.com/ZedNotAlpha. I had to say it. I'm sorry. I really had to say it. Weapon tests of these things coming really soon. Going head to head against each other, seeing which one is the better weapon. That's all I got for today, guys. Remember to leave your suggestions for 300,000 subscribers down in the comment section. That's all I got for today, guys. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.